So I got it running. I haven't done a video in a couple of days because I've been a bit busy, but I got it going. It's all going, it's running well, and it's been great. The only problem is this front tyre here is going, you can't really see it, is going flat. Which is a problem. All the other ones are good. That one's staying up. All the back ones are good because they're fairly new tyres that were on it. Now, I did a smart thing because I didn't really want to replace the tyre before I tried to put like a can of just like your stop leak in it. Which is all good and well. The only problem is yesterday I took it out of the car and just sat it behind it to do that tyre this morning. And last night I had to go down to my brother's in the car and that happened. I ran over it and now it's all crushed and broken. So I'm gonna have to get another one, which is a super bummer. So while I'm here painting this post, and I'm gonna be relatively in the same spot for more than 30 seconds, I thought I'd just do this quick little video just while I'm painting this about one of the biggest challenges that kind of we're facing at the moment here on the farm. And you know, it's not a new topic, but there's a lot of challenges at the moment. But one of the big things that we're having problems with is water. And I know, you know, a lot of people who live rurally or, you know, possibly even in town also have, you know, problems with water. We are very lucky here, whereas we do have a rural water supply. They're coming from Proston, from Bindooba Dam. Of course, we pay for it, but we do have that supply. But the problem really at the moment is, and that's part of the reason why I'm painting this post, there's going to be a tap go on this post, but so we have water supply, but to water everything, so to water all the chickens, water the ducks, water the gardens, water the orchard, and supply all the water for the house, we have one tap. So just one tap where we actually have water to that has to service everything. You know, it has to service, like I said, all the animals. It has to service us for washing up and things like that. We don't drink the water. You can drink it, but we fill up water bottles, like big 20-litre containers full of rainwater for us to drink. So, yeah, that's the only water that we have available to us. Now, because it's only one tap, it's a hell of a lot to spread out over so many different things all over one tap. That's why I'm painting this post, because I'm going to put this post into the new veggie garden, and that will service the veggie garden as its water source. But for the moment, like, it drives you nuts just cutting hoses everywhere. And I guess the double whammy of that is at the moment, it's starting to get so damn dry again that things like the orchard has to start getting watered again. You know, when it's raining a bit, or when there's still moisture in the ground, the orchard, you know, doesn't matter so much because they're a little bit, they're trees here, they're a little bit more established than the likes of, you know, the veggies and those flowers are. I hope I'm not getting too far away from the camera, you can still hear me. I'll talk a bit louder. But, yeah. And so the other side of the equation here, which really brings us a lot more problems, is the pressure behind that water is shocking, is really, really bad. So when you have to water at times when the pressures are good, like this morning, I went out because both the cauliflowers and the radishes that I planted out both needed watering this morning. Went out there to water them. There's not even enough pressure going through to even get the sprinkler to work. So, you know, it creates a lot of problems. So you have to wait until the pressure comes up, and then when the pressure comes up, you've got all this watering to do, all in this short little period, either really early in the morning or later on at night. And it's just simply not enough time, especially when you're doing everything else. So at the moment, I can water the orchard when the pressure's low because it's just a slow drizzle. But even that's painful because to water that orchard is like it's a full day's work to water that orchard. There's about 15 or so fruit trees in there. Probably more now after I planted those fig trees out the other day, probably close to 20 now trees in the orchard. And you know, at half an hour a tree, it takes 10 hours to water all that. So that's a full day that I've got to be here as well. Like I can't go around and do things because I have to be available to move the hose every 20 minutes, half hour. So it takes a long time. Now we do have like tanks and things like that around, but they are for the house when the house gets moved. I don't know if I haven't. I don't know if Zali's talked anything about moving the house and why we're doing that, but I won't go into that in this video. So to illustrate my point that I was talking about earlier with the lack of pressure, this is full pressure. That's as much as we get.
We found a porcupine.
Okay, so today we are back in the kitchen. We are just sort of doing the last couple of things with our deep cleaning. So every 3 months we try to, with the new season, we try to do a deep clean of the kitchen. And we have this gigantic list that takes us years. It feels like years to get through. So we're just sort of finishing off that list now. So everything will be really good and fresh when we come back. We want everything clean, fresh, ready for us to walk in and start. We can't wait to be back, but we need to make sure that we set ourselves up for success from day one. So just getting everything into shape now. Up super early this morning. It's still dark, but I've been up for a little bit and I went to record the sunrise and I had my phone out for like 40 minutes and it's still dark, so I'm trying to record the sunrise again. I'm going to put my phone back out. But this morning I'm up early just because I've got a lot of sort of just bookkeeping sort of stuff to do, like adding all my receipts in and just, doing all that sort of finance stuff that normally takes me a couple of hours on a Monday. And normally I have time at home, but today we're going to Whitbird and we're working on just freshening up the bar. So that's going to be a full day. So I'm just sort of getting up early so I can make sure I can fit it all in, because we need to make sure we're ready as we come back. And I've also got to do the laundry because I normally do my laundry on Mondays. So I'm going to try to... yeah, it's all happening. So let me try recording this sunset a second time so it's not just complete darkness. The sunrise. It's not setting, it's rising. Okay, so today our focus is trying to do something with the bar. So the bar sort of is a big blank canvas of nothing. So we thought, let's add some interest. Devin and I have been racking our brains as to what we want to do with this bar. But we've decided we're just going to put some, Devin got some we got some Tasmanian oak. We're just going to put some trim on the bar just to sort of break it up a little bit. And, you know, we don't want to commit to anything that's too big. So we're just painting it. The first step is we're just going to paint it. We found some old paint that we had, and we're just going to paint it, freshen it up, and then put the trim on. And let's hope it looks good. There is the high possibility that it doesn't, and we hate it, and then we just cry ourselves to sleep because we've put all this work and time and effort into it. But, you know, let's see how it looks. It might look good.
Slowing down.
Yeah, they are slowing down.
Morning everybody. So we're up nice and early this morning and outside. Bit of cloud hanging around this morning, so it didn't get daylight till, you know, almost kind of like 6, half past, something like that. But yeah, up early today, we got a fair bit to do. We've been at Whitbird for the last couple of days, so kind of a few things here, a few things around the farm have kind of fallen behind a little bit, so we've got to try to catch up today. So we're home today, and then back up at Whitbird again tomorrow and Thursday, and then hopefully we'll be home for the rest of the time then until we reopen, pretty much. But yeah, so hopefully today I bought a about 2.5 ton worth of compost. So hopefully fingers crossed today that'll come. Really hope it does, because they are talking rain for the next kind of couple of days, and if that happens, there's no way that the truck will get in, because it's got to come in through the gate in the corner there and come up through the paddock to dump it just here. So if we get enough rain, it doesn't take a lot to make all this, especially the driveway and everything, doesn't take a lot of rain to make that pretty sloppy. So hopefully we can get that today. But the challenge is if I do get that, because there is cattle in this paddock here. Probably can't really see them, but they're way out there at present, but they do come down here. They really love pushing around fresh soil and leveling it all out. So if I get that load of compost tire, I'm going to really have to quickly whip in and throw a fence up around it. I did actually buy 100 meters of new fencing yesterday, like the stuff that I've got here, but just new and better. So hopefully I'm gonna re-fence the whole lot and make this patch a bit bigger, just so it's kind of the right size for when I start putting more beds in the future. So to do that, this fence here has to be pulled up, because another reason I have to re-fence it is at present I have absolutely no gate. I have no way to get in here other than crawling through the fence. And with the four-wheeler now and the trailer and even getting wheelbarrows in, I can't do it. I've got to try to get it through the fence. So we're going to try to put a gate in. But to do that, like I said, all this section of fence here has to come up all the way down to that corner, and then it has to be re-fenced in the mesh. The guinea fowls can't get in. And then once we pull up to this corner here, we're just going to make that square, which is the garden bed, which, well, not the garden bed, the veggie patch. We're going to make it just expand the square out bigger. So it's going to come from this post here out about 20 meters and then duck across, which is then a 50-meter run that way. Oh, sorry, 50 meters all told. So 20 that way, 30 that way, up until where it'll join the fence, the main fence there. And I have one more garden bed to build that I've got all the sleepers cut and painted. I'll try to build that today. And along with that, we still have some menu descriptions and things we have to do today. So there is still whipbird work that has to happen today. So yeah, it's going to be probably a big day. Let's get to it.
Okay, so I'm working on the menu here. I've dragged Devon over because I have a few questions. We need to really work together as a team so that the menu can, be exactly like what Devon is going to create or wants to create. So just a few questions we had to go through and just make sure everything was sort of set. The menu is such a big job. Such a big job. I just hate doing it. But a new menu, we do a seasonal menu and it's so nice, so fresh. So it is exciting, but a lot of work. Hanging out the clothes out here, and Devon has invited me down to have a look at his garden. So I've got an invitation. It's going to be good to get out of the house. I've been in the house all day today. There's two things I was doing. I've been working on the menu all day and also trying to figure out an online reservation system for whipbird. Ugh. It's been such a big job. Last night when I was planning it, I wrote, like in my plan, I wrote make online reservation system. And I thought it would take me an hour. Oh, silly. I always do that, underestimate everything. Everything takes me 10 times longer than I initially think. So I've spent all day on it today. Oh, it's good to get outside, so I'm going to go see what Debbie's plans are. Your garden looks so good, Debbie.
It's getting there.
Okay, so what are your plans?
So I'm going to pull this fence up
Yeah.
all the way over here.
Yeah? Yeah?
I'll pull all this up,
You're going to pull that up?
replace it with new garden bed,
Yeah.
go from here, start off, see where that peg is,
Oh, yeah?
go out there, and then go across.
And what, are you going to make that your whole veggie garden? Oh, that's awesome. That's a good space.
Because I can't really pull this up unless I pull up.
Oh, it's going to be huge. Yeah.
Then I can rerun this top wire just around. And then that gives me a...
Here's the little gate Devon built for Looney so she can come in. Holy smokes! Except one day he forgot to close the gate and all the guineas were in, so that's going to be a problem. But we were worried there was a hole in the fence, and there was. Right there. So we have to remember to close the Looney gate when we're finished. And Cindy's got his little hole here he can come through. Come on, Cindy. Come through the hole. Except he, for some reason, he can't find it. I think he's just, he comes in and out of there a million times a day. I think he's just playing with us. Come on, Cindy. Come on. Come on, Cindy. What you doing? He's fooling us. Looney, you're being a bit rough, aren't you? You're being a bit rough.
Thanks, Debbie. Debbie's so sweet. So, I just went out in my garden and I got all sad because all the chickens had dug up all my plants and just killed everything. And Debbie's making me a little fence. Because I was like, ah, and ran off and then come into the house and hibernated. And then I hear him out there and he's made me a little fence to fence off my flowers. He's so sweet. So sad. But that's so sweet. He's such a sweetie. I love him. Looney's really scared of static electricity because we have these sheets on the bed that are like really soft, but she's so scared of getting zapped.
Hi, Looney.
Oh, darling.
Okay.
You're okay.
No zap.
You're okay, hey? Did you think you were gonna get zapped? Oh, no, darling.
Those guineas will just not let up. Look at them probing my defences, trying to get in. And those look like they've called for reinforcements. Where's the other baby? Ah, there he is. So, good morning vlog. It is Wednesday morning. Dreary Wednesday morning. We didn't get much rain. Well, not really any. What's going on with my hair? Not really any kind of rain at all. Not enough to measure. Just enough to kind of wet the ground. So we got a shower at, I don't know, 4:45 or something like that. So yeah, I got a bit done yesterday. So I finished that last bed. So now we have a complete run of 5 beds. So 5 beds is kind of where I want to keep it. So each run I'll have 5 beds, and a run is going to be like a run of the irrigation sprinklers. I think 2 sprinklers a bed, 5 beds, 10 sprinklers. I think our pressure should be able to kind of handle that much. I think any more might be pushing my luck, especially because our pressure does fluctuate quite a fair bit. I don't want to have to be, running pumps and things like that if I can help it. So that's what I'm going to do. I didn't get my fencing done, but I did get the fence line cleared. The lantana bush there I cut out, so that's kind of ready to go. Compost man couldn't come yesterday, which that kind of worked well anyway, because I wouldn't have been able to get it fenced like I'd hoped to. He won't be able to come until Friday or Saturday, which is perfect because we're back up at Whitbird again now today and tomorrow, and back home from Friday. So that's something. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed this morning. there's a lot to do, and not so much there's a lot to do, but there's a lot to try to balance and try to juggle. Just at the moment, like, I'm not managing to record as much as I'd like to. I want to do a lot more kind of cooking videos for you guys, and that's proving a little bit tricky. It should be easier when we're not kind of, because at the moment, even like yesterday, like technically we were home yesterday, obviously, but probably a good 5 hours was spent doing Whitbird stuff, inside on the computer. I think Zal got some footage of that, but yeah, it's just proven a little bit trickier than I thought to kind of balance everything. Hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully after these, I've got a few cooking videos I'd like to do. A few of you have asked me for like doing an equipment breakdown of things that I use in the campfire cooking, so I hope to do that video as well, and a few other bits and pieces. I will get there. It's just at the moment things are getting pretty hard to juggling, and I'm just getting a little concerned that when we do go back to Whitbird, like, we want to keep this going. Once we go back to Whitbird, we don't want to stop this. Like, we feel it's been good. It's helped us kind of get a move on with things. So maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just stop bitching and get a move on with things. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share my feels because sometimes it does get quite overwhelming, and especially when we're starting to go back to Whitbird now, it's going to get harder. But hopefully, in a way, it should get easier as well, because we're going to fall back into a routine. At the moment, the hardest thing is there's just no routine to anything. Like, even when we're home, there's still things for Whitbird that has to be done, so we're working on that. And then, you know, we're still kind of thinking about things while we're at Whitbird. It's just all higgledy-piggledy all over the place. At least when we go back, we'll know that, okay, you know, we're at work these days, we're home these days. It should get, maybe it will get easier to juggle things, I don't know. But I guess you'll find out. We'll find out, won't we?
Okay, so this is our second day on the bar. So we're just finishing off nailing the hardwood to the bar. And also, I am working on the shelves behind. We thought it'd look really nice to sort of clad these shelves with that same hardwood. And if you can see the wine glass that's hanging there, you can sort of see like the nails and the screws that are like holding the wine glass racks up. So if we tack that on front, that just cleans that up a little bit. Just trying to make those small improvements that might make it look just a little bit better. So yeah.
Just come out of the bushes, lugging this big stick. Let me show you what we're doing. So
The things that Charlie makes me do.
the things I make him do. Oh, I helped you carry that back. That was a monster. But we're thinking this might look nice with our lights on it. We think the board idea mightn't work. Why did we think that? I don't know. So we're thinking we might put our lights on this, but it might not work. But we did just get it out of the bushes. This is one of those, I'd assume this would be a branch from that big storm that came through. Or a tree or something that's fallen down, so yeah, fun days. Okay, so just updating everyone on our project called The Stick. Ready? Oh, it's magical. So these were the lights I was working on the other day, and we've just hung them from this stick. You know, obviously we're not finished yet. I think we're going to lift it a little bit and tie it up a bit better. And I'm just going to, that's just cable tied there at the moment. I'm going to sort of put them on a bit better. But what do you think, Dev? It's going to look really nice at night. What are you doing? Are you pretending that you're coming out of that box?
Yeah, I like it.
Hang on. I can still see your shoulders. Hang on. Oh, hang on, I go this way. Yeah, there you go. Now it just looks like your head in a box. Anyway, this stick's nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. What is it? That's not an emu, is it?
I think so. Isn't it? No.
No, that's not an emu.
What is it?
A big, big bird. Oh shit, it's running!
I think it is an emu.
Ah!
Holy shit! What the fuck is that?
What is it? Ah!
Is it gone?
It's big! Yeah, it's gone, Dev.
Thing was enormous. What? There was just this enormous bird. And I've never seen anything like that around here before. Like,
We thought it was an emu.
it looked like an emu,
flew
but the
away.
bastard could fly.
It could fly, couldn't it? And it ran? When it ran, it actually scared me a little
When
bit.
it ran, I thought for sure it was an emu.
But then it flew.
And then it just
flew
flew
away.
away.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that before. That
The
was
legs
a...
on it were enormous.
Yeah. It was
Bigger
huge.
than a pelican. Like,
It was huge. Oh, 3 times the size of a pelican.
it was a small emu size. Like,
Yeah, like a teenage emu. Oh well, that's some excitement. So we googled our big bird.
it's a bastard.
It's a bastard. A bastard. Bastard? That doesn't sound any better.
Australian bastard.
Yeah, and it's a big bird that lives in Australia. So interesting.